Let's play with C# types and variables. Right click on our solution, add new project, we'll choose console app, we'll choose a name, and OK. Copy, paste. Okay, let's start. Here we declared a variable called num1, number 1 of type int, and we assign it a value of 10. Now we want to change it to 20. It's very simple. We don't need to use anymore the word int, the type int, because we have already the variable. We already declared the variable. So we'll just assign it a new value. Num1 equals 20. If we want to assign it 20 times 5, so num1 equals 20 times 5. Now num1, number 1 is equals 100. Num2, the variables num2 of type int equals num1 divided by 10. Num1 we said was 100 and still 100. But num2 is num1 divided by 10. 100 divided by 10, num2 equals 10. But number 1, it hasn't changed. It's still 100. We did not assign a new value to variable num1. Num2, which is 10, num2 equals num2 plus num1 times 2. So as we know from the mathematical rules of precedence, this part will be calculated first. Computer follows the rules too. So this part, num1, which is 100, times 2, it's 200 already, and num2, it's 10, num2 10 plus 20, so num2 will be 200 and plus 10, so num2 will be 210. Num3 of type int equals 21. Num3 equals num3 plus 2. So now num3 is 23. 23. Okay, 23. And again, num3 plus equals 2. This line equals to this line. We can write num3 equals num3 plus 2, or we can write num3 plus equals 2. This is a short way of writing this line. This line and this line are exactly the same. This line adds 2 to num3, and this line also adds 2 to num3. We can write num3 equals num3 plus 2, or we can write it short num3 plus equal 2. It's exactly the same. So after this line, num3 will be 23. After this line, num3 already will be 25. Int num4 equals 2. Num4 equals num4 times 5. So now num4 will be 10, because 2 times 5 is 10. And the next line is exactly as this line. As we write here, num4 equals num4 times 5. We can write it in short, num4 times equals 5. This is exactly as this line. So if this line gives us that num4 equals 10, now we will we'll do it again. Num4 times 5 will be 50. With this line again, exactly as this line. We can write it in short. Instead of write num4 equals num4 times 5, we can write it short. Num4 times equals 5. Now num4 is equals 50. Int num5 equals 14. And here again, these two lines are exactly the same. This sign calls modulo. Modulo means that we will take only the remainder. If num5 is equals 5 and we want to divide it by 3, if num5 is equals 14 and we want to divide it by 3, so the remainder is 2, because 12 is divided exactly by 3, but 14, the remainder is 2. So num5 equals 2, because this sign modulo means give me the remainder. So num5 equal num5 modulo 3, or we can write it in short, num5 modulo equal 3. These two lines are exactly the same. Num5 equals 1 plus 2 times 4. Now we are assigning a new value to num5, and as we know from the rule of precedence so in mathematics, so this part will be calculated first. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 1 plus 8 it's 9. Num5 now equal 9. And now we assign it a new value. We want that this part will be calculated first. So if we want it, we have to do this way. We have to put it inside a round brackets. So the computer will know that we want this part to be calculated first. Now, the computer will calculate this part. 1 plus 2, 3 times 4, 12. And here we are assigning it again a new value. But this time it's more complex. We can use the square brackets multiple times. This time we want to calculate this part first. And inside this part we want this part first, this part also, and then only then these two parts together. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5, and now we want to do 3 times 5 is 15, and only 15 times 4 is 60. Int num6 equal 10. Num6 equal num6 plus 1, 11, but we can write it in short. We can write it just num6 plus plus, and this will increase the value of num6 by 1. Num6 plus plus increases the value of num6 by 1, only by 1. Only for 1 we can do it. We cannot do it for 2 or 3. Only for 1, increasing by 1. And exactly the same, but minus num6 equals num6 minus 1, or we can write num6 minus minus. So after that, num6 num6 equals num6 minus 1. This will be minus 1, and this is again minus 1. But if we'll take this example, num7 equals 5, and we'll tell the computer show us the value of num7 in the console window, but not num7, num7 plus plus. So the computer will first show us the value of num7, 5, and only after it will increase the number num7 by 1, and num7 will be 6. But first the computer will show us the value of num7 before the increasing. Exactly also here, Console.WriteLine num7 minus minus, so will show us the value of num7, and only after will decrease the value of num7. If we want it to be that the computer will first increase the number or decrease the number, and after only it will show us the value, so we have to put the plus plus or the minus minus before the variable. In this case, first we will increase or decrease the value of num7, and only after will show us the value in the console window. int num8 equals 5. Console write line num8 plus 3. So the console window will show us 5 plus 3. Console window will show us 8, but num8 will not be changed. It will still be equal 5 because we did not assign it a new value. We just want to show on the console window the result of num8 plus 3. But num8 plus 3 remains the same 5 as before.